Love you, brother. Woo!
Oh, my goodness.
That's a big one there, baby. Pennsylvania's finest.
They're everywhere.
Yes, Upstream.
Nice. Woo! Nice brown trout in the Swift River here.
We got a nice big rainbow trout.
Hi, I'm Gerard Robinson, your host,
And I'm Charles Bush, your co-host.
and we are at Gunnison, Colorado.
And today we'll be targeting rainbow trout and brown trout.
And our featured guest in this episode is Mr. Ben Furimsky, the president of the Fly Fishing Show.
Come on, Gerard, let's go so I can show you how this is done.
Oh, we got to do this again.
Yes, sir.
I taught you something yesterday. Yeah, right.
We got into Denver 12:30 at night or in the morning. We crashed for about 2 hours and we had a 3-hour drive.
We knew that this journey was going to be exciting.
The journey from Denver to Gunnison is beautiful with all the mountains. It's all exciting. You just can't wait to get here and make that first cast.
We got to Gunnison. I texted Ben. I told him, I said, Ben, we're on our way to James' tackle shop to get our license. And he was like, wow, you guys are here already?
How's your travels?
Oh, man, brother, it was awesome.
That's good.
It was
That's
awesome.
good. I'm
All
glad
that
you guys
snow-
made it.
All that snow cat and
That's
everything
right.
out
Hey,
there,
it's-
brother.
You're in God's country
Woo!
now.
How's the salmon fishing, Craig?
It's kind of been a little strange year because of the lack of water this past winter.
All right,
But, but they're still in there. People are catching them, you know.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's the kokanee right
Yep, and that's what they're going to look like this time of year, you know, spawning out.
there. Okay.
I mean, obviously it's a tourist town, but a lot of people come up primarily for the kokanee.
For the
fish.
kokanee, okay.
Looking for some big, you know, ugly attractor type patterns, you know.
Okay.
So like our San Juan worms, just something pink. We're gonna get that. Throw some weight on there. Even though the water is real low this year, you know, we're at 230 right now. You know, you're gonna be looking for like those deeper pockets. That's where those fish are gonna hold up before they continue
Will
to.
they continue on?
Well, I appreciate you guys coming in and enjoy it. And
Thank
all
you
right.
so much, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
take
Thank
care.
you.
People at James Tackle Shop showed us love. I told Charlie and the crew, I said, yo, Ben is ready. He's ready to take us to a magnificent spot.
Come on, man. How you feeling? Hey, I'm back, man. What's up?
Once we saw Ben, man, it was like a reunion once again.
My name is Ben Furimsky. I'm the president and CEO of the Fly Fishing Show. That's the world's largest producer of consumer fly fishing conventions. I started fishing before I can really remember. My dad got me into it. I was definitely fishing by the time I was 5. I was fly fishing on my own probably by the time I was 6. Fly fishing's my game. I met Gerard and Charlie actually at the fly fishing shows. They came to attend as guests. They wanted to do some filming, so they just reached out to me to ask if it was okay. And I met up with them, and we hit it off, and we made friends. And now we're fishing together.
I'm anxious, very excited. When I get ready to go fishing, I just get like a little kid. I just can't wait to get out there to go fishing.
We got to be super creepy, probably crawl in. It's small. It's a little, if you look in here, you can see the salmon. See them small?
Yeah. Ben is very strategic. Ben is like an animal. He said, just walk softly. because the ground vibrates. And the fish, they feel that.
The fish are very aware that you're around them. Even as you're casting, they can see that rod tip out there. He said, to get to this fish, I got to get on my knees and crawl over there.
So Ben crept over, then he got down on his knees. Oh, Charlie and I looked up, we was like, what is he doing?
I thought he was joking at first, but then I realized he was very serious.
And what he did was just amazing. And I mean, it was the first cast. And we were like, oh, this is it. He brought us to the right spot.
You think we'd be able to crawl? I mean, we've been going to the gym, so we should be all right.
I don't know if I crawl in if I'm gonna be able to get up.
Get back up. I'll help you.
I don't know, it seems like you was just having too much of a good time and you forgot all about us.
I didn't even know you guys were here. Oh. You can't not have a good time fishing with those guys. They just really enjoy themselves so much. The energy that you can absorb from them helps you enjoy the sport more.
How
does that go?
I won.
Oh, you add it?
Yeah, I won.
I thought we were going to do rock, paper, scissors.
If he would have had two, then he would have won.
So even you're up. Well,
yes.
Gerard's just got a lot of energy, a lot of passion about it. He really enjoys himself and the people around them, as well as the fishing. And that's what it's about. It's not always about catching the fish. But he likes that a lot too. We're on the East River in the Roaring Judy Fish Hatchery public stretch. I think there's 2.5 miles here, fishing all public water. We're targeting browns and rainbows. We've got a kokanee salmon run that runs through here, so some of the fish are following those salmon, feeding on eggs. Particularly this year we're facing drought conditions, so we've got really low water. We've got to be a little more stealthy because these fish are very aware in the low, clear water.
As we understood, there wasn't that much water available in the streams, so that it didn't bring that many fish.
When the water is very low like it is now, the fish are very spooky. They can really see all their surroundings a lot better because there's less water running over the top of them. Good little guy. All right, we're gonna let him go. There he goes.
Got it.
There you go. That's half.
Woo! Beautiful. Oh, that's a rainbow.
The color of these fish were just, phenomenal.
Here, I don't want to trip.
When we got up this morning, I happened to look out the window, and there's like 3 or 4 inches of snow on the ground. I didn't know it was supposed to snow last night.
You missed the spot.
All right, let's get this day started.
I spoke to one of my representatives at Reddington. I had a rod and a reel and a pair of waders and boots.
You don't really like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna be beautiful.
The best thing today was we gave Tiki a gift of a fishing pole, waders, and boots.
Tiki is 5 years old. He's gonna be shocked.
Thank you. And who is this? Is this Tiki? Hey, how you doing, Tiki? Got you boots? Tiki, look at that, man. Fishing boots. You got some boots?
The look on his face when we gave him the waders, the boots, and the rod and the reel was priceless.
Let's turn it around so you don't poke your dad in the face with it.
That.
How's that?
How's that, man?
How was that? You ready?
Hello, my name is Seth Firestone. I am the hatchery manager here at the Roaring Judy State Fish Hatchery. I'm going to tell you about how we produce those kokanee salmon. You remember the red fish that we saw inside in the visitor room there? So what we do is when we spawn the fish down at the raceways, down by the ponds, we'll bring the eggs up to the hatchery right here. And we'll disinfect those eggs outside with some iodine that cleans them up. And then we'll bring those eggs in here and put them in these incubators. You want to see the eggs in the incubators? So we have eggs in 2 different stages in here. We have eggs that are already eyed that we're going to be starting to pick through and set in the hatching jars. And then we have some eggs that we recently brought in that aren't eyed. You want to come check them out? So if you look really close at those eggs, can you see those little eyes? So in about 30 days, these will hatch out of those eggs and they'll be these real tiny fry, and they'll have a little orange belly on them, and that's the yolk sac, and that's what they're going to live on for the next 3 weeks, and then they'll start swimming up, and then they'll start feeding on fish feed. And so these are rainbow trout over here. We feed these about 4 times a day in here. Keep turning it. Can you shake it a little bit? Dump it in. Dump it in. It's a good job. That's good. Good job. The densities up there, they're close to 25,000 fish per trough. But as they get bigger, of course, they need more space. So we'll drop them down into these tanks at first. As the fish get larger, then we'll start fitting them into the other tanks. Gerard, you guys want some?
Fishy food.
So the way that, do you want me to come down, or you guys?
It's been a very educational experience here at the Roaring Judy Hatchery. And with Seth Firestone, he has helped us out a lot. And it's been very, very educational. And I tell you, this little guy here has had a ball, him and his dad. Give me some. Give me some. Ah! They have had a ball. Do me. What happened? Oh, come on, man.
Oh, my phone is ringing.
Oh.
Hello?
您好，这里是中国领事馆文件。
Man, if you don't call him back.
文件尚未领取。
Who is that?
疑问，请按铃。有
Go fishing. Are you ready to go fishing?
And where we were fishing today used to be part of the reservoirs. So where we were, where we parked our cars, used to be where the water level was.
So today we're going to fish the lower Gunnison River where it flows into the Blue Mesa Reservoir. This stretch is actually typically below the reservoir level, but because we're in drought conditions, we've got some extra river miles, and we're gonna go after some wild rainbows and browns and dealing with our weather challenges today.
Today, we were in the element. It was windy. It was cold.
It's cold out here.
We're gonna do this!
Yeah, we're gonna catch some fish.
One of the things that makes it special when I get to go with my son is just to spend time with him and help him learn and recognize some of the things that I've learned through fishing that can help you with life and help you with everything and just understanding the environment. So I really appreciate him learning about the environment and the way things work, and he really enjoys that. It's important to let the kids play,
That's it, man.
do other things besides fish.
Exactly.
You know, we're trying to make them learn about the environment,
Yes.
learn to have fun out here, and you don't want to push the fishing on them. It's
Exactly.
part of it.
And you know what, Ben? If you catch something, that's a bonus.
Up high! Lift them up! Oh, what a nice rainbow, buddy! Lift them up a little more. Lift it up high. Oh, the other way, other way.
I can't.
Oh! Don't let him pull you in! Actually, what was going through my head is like, please don't fall off, please don't fall off. Because I just wanted to make sure that he got one in to get a little reward. I wanted to make sure that he got it on. He was in new equipment, he was excited about his waders, so catching the fish wasn't 100% focused in his mind as much as everything that was going on. We need some help here, Gerard. What you need? Come help him hold the rod because it's taking line and I'll get the net. Other way, buddy. Other way. Wind the other way. Yeah, that way.
There you go. Come on, Tiki, bring him. Bring him in, Tiki. Come on, reel it. Reel it. Yes! Yeah! Tiki!
Yeah!
You got him, Tiki! Yes!
Nice one, buddy.
Tiki, look!
Look at the size of that one.
Look!
Good one.
Oh, yeah!
Tiki's 5 years old. He caught a fish. We didn't. And the fact of it is, he was with his dad. And the look on his dad's face, priceless. Priceless. Charlie was upset today. He was upset.
I did have one on, but he got off, but Tiki landed his. So that made the day for everybody.
Anybody, when they're learning to fish or fly fish, first it's about numbers typically, and they want to catch fish, they want to catch fish. Then people start to want to catch bigger fish. And then eventually you get to a point where it's special fish, whether it's through adventure or travel or a very difficult one to catch. Ultimately, it's not even the fish that's the reward, it's being out there. So for me, that reward was seeing him enjoy it.
This whole trip is priceless. And this is what Upstream is about, bringing families together, bringing kids together, giving them the opportunity to try something that they've never tried before.
Look at the colors on it.
Pretty dark.
He is beautiful.
You can tell it's a male by the curved jaw and the hump on its back. of my favorite things about the Gunnison River is the fish variety. There's brown trout, rainbow trout, cutthroat trout. I've actually even caught a couple of brook trout out of the Gunnison over the years. The size variety is what's really nice. You might catch a tiny little fish several inches long, one cast, and the next cast you have the potential of catching a 10-pound fish. Where a lot of rivers have a very consistent size, every fish is 15 to 18 inches, which is fantastic, but you get a little less reward because the beginner next to you is still catching 15 to 18 inch fish and you're catching the same fish. But here, you really get rewarded as a good angler. The better the cast you do, the better the fish is going to be typically. I mean, you can always get lucky, of course, so the better the angler, the better the success.
Nice rainbow.
Yes, yes.
Pretty fish. Nice color, so let him go there.
Yeah. Nice fish.
You guys did great. Challenging fishing conditions, late season, snow, wind. I mean, I'm proud of you guys because the last time I fished with you was 2 years ago.
Yes.
And you guys are no question better anglers than 2 years ago.
Well, thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, you're a hell of a teacher, bro.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're a hell of a guide, informative, your patience.
Yes.
Patience, bro.
You can always learn from local knowledge.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a local person can learn from an outsider's technique. You know, they might have a different approach to something, which means you can always learn from anybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, we learn from the best. We just like to say thank you again to our viewers. Please stick with us. And Charlie?
Yes, sir.
Competition's on, brother.
Oh, I know it always is. It always is.
I love you, man. I love
sir.
you. One time.
Ben?
Love you, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Stay tuned, everybody. We'll see you again.